Hey guys, welcome back to another video. So in this video, this is another TryHackMe walkthrough through the cyber kill chain. So this is going to continue on the SOC level 1 video set or video series or whatever you want to call it. So this is the next section. So you guys are new to the channel, welcome. Please like, subscribe, and share. And if you're returning, let's have some fun. So let's jump onto the desktop and get started, folks. All right, so this is my desktop here. All right, so let me go ahead and make sure everything is up and what happened? I think I just, sorry. All right, cool deal. So let me just bring that up. Here we go. Sorry. That's what happens when you have so many monitors. You have one thing and the other and the other, whatever. So this is the cyber kill chain. Remember how you get there? Just go to, let's just do this really quick so I don't lose this. Let's go to learn. And then down in here, this is going to be the SOC level 1 series or whatever you want to call it, videos. And we did these two already. And this is just this third one in the cyber defense. What was it? Cyber defense, what? Cyber defense frameworks. All right. So yeah, so we have a few more here and then we'll go into cyber threat intelligence, which will be fun. All right, cool deal. So if you're familiar with the cyber kill chain, this should be really, really easy. If not, which I probably assume that you're not, we'll learn this together, right? So the first step is reconnaissance. Anytime you're doing any kinds of attack or any kind of thing that we need to get information, we want to do reconnaissance. And then weaponization, we want to create our exploit or whatever, or create, weaponize our attack. And then deliver it. Maybe we want to send this through email. Maybe we want to put it onto a USB. Maybe we want to, however you want to deliver it, right? Phishing is normally the main attack, right? And then exploit. Once we have the exploit exploited on the machine, then that means we can gain access, right? Then we install it, right? Whatever we want to install. Then we can have it going back to a CNC, a command and control, and then access of objectives, right? So obviously, the kill chain is a military concept, and if we come down here, we just everything we just went over, this will explain everything. So let's go ahead and hit complete here and go on to reconnaissance. So it looks like we're going to be doing different or every single step and understand each step, right? So to learn what reconnaissance is, just understand, what is OSINT? Open source intelligence, right? We can use these different tools out on the internet, to find information about a target or a person or whatever. So we can click on what is OSINT, and you can go ahead and read on this article what OSINT is and so on and so forth, right? So I do a lot of that when I'm doing a lot of investigation, even if I'm doing a pen test or an assessment. We want to make sure, that's the first step of any attacker or any adversary or any pen tester. We're going to make sure we have all the information that we need to attack. Okay. So in this scenario, a malicious actor name himself Megatron. Okay. So cool deal, Megatron. So just go ahead and read here. And let's see what we're going to be doing. So the first phase is reconnaissance. So in order to operate this phase, we need to, conduct some OSINT, right? So let's look at email harvesting. So what is email harvesting? Email harvest is, say for example, like the harvester. This is a cool tool that you can utilize. And I think I have a video on this. If not, I can probably make one. But what this does is say it gathers information on your emails. Have you ever been pwned? Oh, I was going to say, have you ever heard of have you been pwned? You can go ahead and put your email or any information on there and see if your email or password or anything like that has been leaked. So this tool is compatible with names, domain names, IPs, URLs, etc. Right? So, and then hunter.io, we can search for emails. This is a super cool tool. And it's not only for hunting emails, right? Say, for example, if you're, a marketing person, you can use this for, obtaining some information that you need for sales or leads or whatever you want to call it, right? And then the OSINT framework provides, a collection of OSINT tools based on various categories. All right. So an attacker will use social media sites like LinkedIn, Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to collect as much information from the victim as they can, right? To attack a company or whatever. So that's why it's super critical. Like if you take a company picture, at work or even in your house, try not to reveal stuff that you don't want out there, right? Say for an example, I don't want people knowing where I work, or, it's probably on LinkedIn, but some people don't put everything on LinkedIn, I'm very discreet. I don't put all my information out on the internet. That's none of no one's business, right? So the people that know me, right? Like I don't need to put stuff out there for people to try to use that against me or whatever. So being anonymous, being as anonymous as you can is it'll serve you good for sure. And that's why I've said this multiple times. I started using my government name just only a couple of years ago. I never used to put my information out there just for, anonymity's sake. All right. So what is the name of the Intel tool? Oh my God. What is the name of the Intel gathering tool that the web-based interface is, blah, blah, blah. So what is this called? This is going to be the OSINT framework. So let me just copy this and submit that. I think that would be it. Yep. All right. So then now we're going to be looking for information gathering process during the reconnaissance stage, right? The stage of reconnaissance. So I'm guessing it's going to be the harvester, right? So, or let me see, no, it's not the harvester. So I'm guessing it's going to be like email harvesting. Yeah, this is what it's going to be. Let's copy this and see if this works. Oops. All right, let's see. Okay, so weaponization. All right, so let's come back up. So after some successful reconnaissance stage, Megatron now wants to create or craft up a weapon of destruction, right? So we can go onto the dark web. You can click on here, and what is the dark web? And it's a dangerous, fancy place that no one likes to go to, and I think crazy things happen down there. So let's first define some terminologies, right? So malware, exploit, payload. These are all stuff that you're going to figure out and learn during the process of your cybersecurity career, right? So continuing with our adversary, which is Megatron, chooses Megatron, blah, blah, blah. So he pretty much gets a already written payload someone else did on the dark web, right? So in this weaponization phase, the attacker would, they're going to be creating a VBA, which is a Visual Basic application script with some macros in it. It looks like, learn about macros. So here you can click on this and learn about macro, intro to macros with script kiddies, and you can learn some stuff there, which I don't really care right now. Okay, so also you can, this is what we were just talking about. So you can have the Microsoft document. You can have an attacker can create a malicious payload or a worm, implant this on a USB, or just distribute it in the public, for example, like a virus. Then the attacker would choose a C2 technique. All right, so what is a C2? So say, for example, I deliver my payload, they execute it, it calls back to a command and control center so I can take control of that machine or that system, right? And then an attacker would select a backdoor to implant, okay? So let's see. Excuse me. All right, so the term referred as a group is commands, blah, blah, blah. You can, all right, so how can you provide the Word document? So pretty much this is going to be that macro, introducing a macro. So I want to say macro. Right? Yeah. Okay. So that was the weaponization phase. Let's move on to the delivery phase. So this is what we were talking about too, right? So Megatron, this is the different ways to deliver the exploit or the weaponization of the payload or whatever you want to call it. So phishing is obviously the number one attack, the number one way to attack anything, a lot of people. We can create online portals. We can say, okay, come to my link, shorten URLs, and this is This is the way people do it. So, like it says here, phishing, after conducting a reconnaissance and determining the targets of attack, the malicious actually crafts a malicious email that would target a specific person, which is spear phishing attack, or multiple people in the company, right? So, and the second one, we can distribute infected USB drives like a rubber ducky, or just implant just things on regular USBs and put them inside of an office building, or put them outside in a parking lot. There's so many things. Or like this says here, parking lots, on the streets, coffee shops, or wherever you want. Because normally, there's a lot of silly people out there. They find a USB, like, oh, let's see if there's confidential data on there, and plug it into their machine, not knowing that they can be installing a virus or malware, etc. And then watering hole attacks. So this is pretty much when you have a website. Like it says here, you have a targeted design aimed at a specific group. You can have this on a website. You can have it on emails, and however, like malicious URLs, to make it, make the attack work more effectively. All right, so you can put this like, you can use the BEEF, like the browser exploitation framework, and there's a whole bunch of other things, I believe. All right, so let's go down to a question here. What is the name of the attack when you perform against a specific group of people? And all right, so we just said that. So, watering hole. All right, let's make sure I copy that. I don't know if it needs the period. Okay, perfect. All right. Now we're going to go to exploitation. This is the fun stuff. So still Megatron is in business. So one that contains a phishing link to a fake Office 365 login page. So this is a lot of people doing this. And this is how you can try to bypass like OTPs, one-time passwords, all that stuff. So Office 365 fake logins are pretty hot these days, right? Excuse me. So after gaining access to the system, a malicious actor can exploit software systems, blah, blah, blah. So according to CrowdStrike, you can go ahead and use right here, CrowdStrike, what is lateral movement? This is so you can move between the network, between machines and stuff like that. So after gaining initial access to the victim's machine, you can move deeper into the network to obtain sensitive data, download confidential data, etc. All right, so if you want to learn more about web-based vulnerabilities, you can go ahead and come here to OWASP Top 10, and you can learn all about the stuff that I need to learn too. I always need to brush up on that. It's not my favorite nor my expertise. But the attacker might apply a zero-day exploit. What is a zero-day? Say, for example, something was found today in the wild. No EDR, no antivirus, no hashes were, reported. So pretty much it's a field day for a hacker, right? All right, so there's some examples how attackers carry out exploitations. The victim triggers the exploit by opening an email, which is probably numero uno all the time, using a zero-day exploit, exploiting software, hardware, and even human vulnerabilities. So I would say this and this goes in hand because the human element is probably super vulnerable. We're not, we're easily manipulated. We're easily, if I'm super nice and a kind person, I can probably try to, extract information and try to gather information from you without you even trying to give it to me, right? So an attacker triggers the exploit by server-based vulnerabilities, okay? So let's see here. So can you provide the name of the cyber attack targeting a software vulnerability unknown by, yeah, zero day. Zero day? No? What? Is it 0-day? Okay. Oh, I was gonna say, damn. I must be dumb. All right, cool. So now this is task 6. All right, so this is installation. So now we exploited it. Now we want to install something called a backdoor or something for persistence. What does that mean? So say, for example, I want to create a task or a DLL that anytime the machine reboots or something happens, this task will run and will execute again so we can relog into the machine or the system, right? So persistence can be achieved by installing a web shell on a web server what malicious script written by, web development like ASP, PHP, JavaScript, blah, blah, blah. Installing a backdoor, for example, by an attacker using Metasploit. Metasploit is super, super handy. A lot of us pen testers or hackers use it. You can call it script kiddies or whatever, but I don't care. I use Metasploit still. Whatever. And creating and modifying Windows services, right? So then creating. Oh, actually, I just said that. And then adding, run keys, which is to the registry, and startup folders, and so on and so forth. And if you want to learn more about the MITRE attack, you can go here and boot and log on, auto start execution. So right here, these run once, run. These are all where the keys in Windows run, and then these are for more persistence and so on and so forth. So you can learn some stuff from there. All right, so now in this phase, an attacker is also using time stomping technique to avoid detection by a forensics investigator. Okay, so time stomping technique, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, so what time stomping is when you modify, for example, if I'm a digital forensics investigator, whatever, I want to look into a drive that maybe was manipulated, or maybe, we're trying to look at a time of that machine that we're investigating, if that makes sense. Now, if there was anything modified or access or time changes, this is pretty much what is happening, right? Hopefully that makes sense. If not, you can just click on here and go learn more about it right here. Okay. Maybe I'm not the best at explaining that. I don't use it all the time, so maybe that's why. All right. Can you provide the techniques used to modify a time attribute to hide a new or yeah, right here. Time stomping. Boom. This is what you're going to do. Copy this, paste this. There we go. All right. So can you name the malicious script planted by an attacker on a web server that can maintain access? Okay. Yeah, that's a web shell. All right, cool deal. All right, so now we're up to number 7, CNC, command and control, right? So the most common CNC channels used by adversaries nowadays. So the protocol is HTTP over port 80, HTTPS over port 443. This type of beacon blends into malicious traffic. So say, for example, we're trying to do legit traffic, and we can, if you're monitoring this traffic and we are looking at firewall, IDS, IPS, we're trying to invade that traffic. DNS, right? We can look at, DNS tunneling. This is also what we can do as an attacker, right? So important to know the adversary, and you can blah, blah, blah. C2. So if you want to, is this even a link? Is this a link? No. All right. So what is a C2 communication where the victim makes regular DNS requests to a DNS server in the domain which they attack? I just said that. So it's DNS tunneling. Where did I see that? I just said DNS right here. I'm just going to copy this just to make things easier. I probably would have typed it faster, but it is what it is. All right, task number 8. So actions, excuse me, actions of objectives. All right, so after you're going through the 6 steps, 6 phases of attack, Megatron can finally achieve its goals, all of which means take action of the objective with hands-on keyboard action. All right, so collect the credentials from the users, perform privask, internal reconnaissance, lateral movement, collect and exfiltrate sensitive data, deleting the backups, and shadow copies. So shadow copies like VSS, volume shadow copy. So this is take snapshots of backups and stuff like that of the volumes on a Windows environment. So override and corrupt data. All right. So can you provide a technology included in Microsoft Windows that can back up? Oh, we just said that. Shadow copy? Yeah, yes, right here. Oh man, shadow copy. Let's see if that's right. Bada bing, bada, whoa. That's good. All right, so let's go back down here. All right, let's see. Whoa, what happened? All right, here we go. All right, so what is this one now? Practice analysis. All right, let's visit the site. Alrighty then. Learn, practice, improve. Here's a real world scenario that you can tackle. A famous Target. Remember that Target cybersecurity attack? That was crazy. And so on December 19, 2013, targeted, you can look at the statement. I don't really care about that right now. How did the breach happen? Deploy the static site. So pretty much this is, all right, let's see. Add each item on the list in the kill chain. All right, so exploit. All right, so what this is probably saying is, this is how, no. All right. So I guess we're going to be using, I guess that's what we need. We need to answer these to get the flag. All right, so use check answers. All right. So the first thing we need to do is weaponization, right? So weaponization, what weapon that we use in here. So no, I would say PowerShell. All right. And then the delivery, right? This is delivery. So public facing, no. I'll say spear phishing, attack, attachment. Let's see if this copies. Can I paste this here, please? Awesome. All right. So the number 4 here. So what we're going to do is exploit, right? This is, I guess it's going to be exploit. Exploit public facing application. Let's see if that's here. Perfect. And then what is the next thing? Data, no. I would say dynamic linker hijacking. I hope this is right. All right, so then we can, so this is going to be calling back, right? This is so fallback channels. And then we have the data, right? From the local system, because that's pretty much the last thing. Check answer. Oh, perfecto. Copy this. I paste it here. Submit. Oh, voila. Get rid of this thing. All right, almost done. Conclusion. Voila. We're finished. Sorry I didn't read that last one, but who cares? But yeah, that's the cyber kill chain. So hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Stay tuned for the next one. And if you have any questions, leave it in the comments below. Thank you so much for viewing and have an awesome day.